Today is still June 30th, 2023. After I did that video and I went for a walk in the park this morning, while I was walking, two men walked by me. The guy running this, he was at a party and he was the life of the party. He was laughing and telling everybody how he fooled everyone into helping out in this and all the things he stole from her. And he got away with it. And he was laughing and laughing how he fooled all these people into helping him. The other guy went, well, you do realize what they did to her, I know. Okay, I went up to work today in Hartville. Somebody drove by and yelled he made fun of us. Well, I went to Hartville Kitchen to get lunch, and through their pickup thing, some ladies come in. Karen's Will found out some guy was laughing at everybody for falling for this. Okay? Well, I was over in Akron working at another place, and when I went to leave, some cars pulled in and they went to turn around. They all did tell on her before. They did fall for the stunt of the tapes before. And they all know they made fun of them for it. And nobody thinks any of this is funny anymore. Everybody needs to contact the CIA. Super easy. Name, email, phone number. Send them the link to Karen Around the House. And they'll never contact you. My brother-in-law was CIA. He worked under Dick Cheney while he was still alive. They'll just take care of it. That agent has ran the biggest scam in the world. People have died. People have been taken from the drug traders that were human trafficking people out of this area. Now it comes down to this. How stupid were they? We have a constitution. It's federal law. For every U.S. citizen, you have a right to privacy within your own home, to be safe and secure within your own person, your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. The Department of Justice actually looks at your home as a castle, and it shall not be entered into. Okay? No searches and no seizures without probable cause, warranted with an oath or affirmation of things to be searched or seized. People, places, and the things to be seized. They have to give you a Miranda rights, tell you why they're there, so you can lawyer up and shut up, because you have rights. Okay? To actually watch you in your home, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. Okay? There's nothing else. Officer Reinhardt in Louisville laughed at the whole situation. Don't you worry about a little thing. We can never look or listen. Even the FBI would go to jail. Until that agent took your statement, they couldn't even be in your home. It's illegal to be in somebody's home no matter what. Except for protected light cases with statements. And they couldn't even be in your home until that agent agreed to protect you and with statements. And he had to take your statement personally. Or they'd go to jail. It's a right to privacy. For every constitutional right broke, it's 1 to 10 years. So Dave cannot give special permission for a drug cartel and a retired judge messed up in it that are human trafficking people to kick in my door and stalk me and videotape me unaware in my home. No, you can't even have somebody follow me around. I'm a free U.S. citizen. We abolished slavery in 1860. Men do not own women. They don't. And then let alone sell me and Dave on porn sites. Let them tape me in the bathroom showering, Photoshop a shower scene. And I woke up with bruises, throwing up, almost passing out. Seen by Altman family physician for a real bad headache, dizzy, heart racing, giant bruises. I couldn't explain. They're like, did you fall? I'm like, no. I lifted some stuff, but I didn't bang myself, and I got bruises everywhere. Swollen personal infection, and it wouldn't go away and kept getting worse. And here, under drugs, I'm being beat, drugged, and raped, and human trafficked out of my own house by that call into a drug cartel. He cannot do that to me and not go to jail. My one friend used to work at the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. He said if he actually admitted he hired that guy to do that to you, duh, the police better arrest him. They have already admitted to over 10 people that they drugged me and told me to say stuff, and they photoshopped a shower scene in their stalking tapes, thinking they're funny, and then admitting to all this, and that they frame me and everything with their stalking tapes. They're not even admissible. They never tell you that they have Terry's phone call where I didn't hang up and I thought I was getting Dave's girlfriend. Instead, I got, guess who was on the phone with? You're kidding. I almost tricked her into coming down to prayer with us, two guys to show up and take care of her. Nobody in the church would help her. And they pay people to know where she's at. I could use some money. And the other girl insults Kaylee. And then Terry's like, well, you know who was in that meeting for to hire those two men to kill her is Keith Bishop, Strange, and Ron. And they took up $25,000 to have her murdered because Ron wants her dead because she got while the Yaris kid died. They don't tell you they have him nailed, right? They don't tell you that Dave blurts out that he had wanted Katie, and then him and Jack had this plan since March because I wouldn't give up everything willingly. They don't tell you that Dave thought one of his girlfriend's family owned the police up there. Oh, and that Dave had hired two men to kill me, one to slit my throat, stab me in the heart, and one to shoot me if I ran. See, there was 4 attempts on my life before I moved up there, or the fourth one right after I moved up there. And while we were getting our stuff, still moving in it to it, there was 4 attempts in less than a year. And so they come up with this plan to drug, beat, rape, human traffic me, because Dave's dating Katie. And they did that stunt of him, denying the whole thing, calling her pathetic, then make that fat and ugly joke in Macy's. And then that was a setup too, because we were in Macy's. She's in Ashcroft. No, how would she know? She wouldn't. It was a setup. They had to be hiding in the purses, stalking us. If she laughs, we'll get her. Who gets people? Oh, you know what I put on my Facebook? The 3 apostolic churches in this area are Satan possessed. Did they having people drugged, beat, raped, human trafficked, attempted murder, I blasted them. I said, what about the scriptures of, to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove? To love your enemy and pray for those who despitefully use you? Huh? And then I put the 10 Commandments up there. Slaughtered the Bible into a million pieces of confetti, didn't they? They're an occult. They're like the extreme religious people. Any of the other occults that they keep their women covered up, long hair, long skirts, and then they prostitute them out to married men. The guy running this was at a party and made fun of everybody for falling for it and how he fooled everybody into helping out. And he was the life of the party, laughing at everybody. I want you to think about that. June 7th, 2023, Walmart 62. Katie's sister Jody and a bunch of people from Lighthouse and their friends and family helping out in this that day. Walmart 62 by the ladies' bathroom, taping audio through the whole store. FBI agent in the right by the ladies' bathroom out front. FBI agent John fell for the tapes before. What on earth? Oh, come on now. That agent actually fell for it? It was just a stunt. A Satanistic stunt. Because they're cheating. She wants attention for everybody to feel sorry for, and she's a millionaire. Has Dave insult her? And I dare laugh. So they hire a drug cartel to kick in my door? And by the second week, I almost pass out in front of the neighbors trying to mow the lawn. I have giant bruises all over me. Throwing up, almost passing out. Huh? Then I get a severe personal infection and I get swollen and worse, and I'm taking pills and creams, not knowing what's wrong with me. And here I've been date raped, drugged, beaten, raped in my own home. And they were using amnesia drugs that can control you for 4 to 6 hours. Them photoshopping a shower scene, like my one friend. I have a friend that has a laptop. He said it's simple. They just click and paste in another room. Anything, I talked to a retired sheriff, anything, including words, can be photoshopped. Let alone they were admitting they date rape, drugged me with amnesia drugs, and told me to say stuff. And over 10 people told on them. That's how not funny this is. And those agents wouldn't have known anything could be photoshopped. So they fell for a drug cartel doing this to a victim that an occult's already tried to kill 4 times. My one friend that's a retired sheriff, you should have been put in a safe house. Yeah. How could they fall for it? How could they fall for it? I look at this as like the Constitution stops it. That's where Officer Reinhardt laughed about it. They'd even go to jail for looking at it. No one can. My friend that used to be in the Stark County Prosecutor's Office is a prosecutor. They did it in your home. Nobody can look at it. They probably did Photoshop that shower scene and where they kicked in your door, and they probably did set up on cameras. They can never use it. They did it in your home. And where you had bruises you couldn't explain, you're throwing up and dizzy, they probably did drug you up until you say something stupid. And they can never use it. They did it in your home. It's a Fourth Amendment over the house. It's a prosecutor. Told the Portage County Sheriffs what these people are saying they did is illegal. I said you couldn't look or listen. It's the Fourth Amendment. Yes. For every constitutional right broke, it's 1 to 10 years. Dave can't hire rapists and stalkers because his sick, mentally ill, rich girlfriend wants to hurt me because I'm his wife. Huh? Kids in North Canton last week were complaining about that. They let the people following around, they let them hear that they were putting 2 clips together, put her in a porn March 2nd to the 3rd, 21, 8 to 10:30 at night. My car's bugged. Huh? That March 13, 21, the only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself, just wiped off some water with clothes on. That's all they had. They didn't have anything else. Okay? Then they admitted that they what you're describing as showering. Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. May 12, 22, Bubba's Restaurant found a tape of them admitting a shower scene in the room. May 26, 22, shower scene was done on purpose at the Oakland apartment. December 9, 21, 4 p.m. Everything was drugged and photoshopped. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. Worked the case. They always knew everything was drugged and photoshopped. That's why nobody ever said anything to me. All the tapes before were them and not her. They told my client in Navarre, the next door neighbor, that retired Judge Pete drugged and photoshopped everything and made everything up on me. And then I can start at May 25th, 21, 6 p.m. on Wendy's Screwed in Louisville talking about the church people breaking in before drugging me, telling me to say weirdo stuff at 8, 9, 21, the apartment building for me, second close offense. Lady and little girls lived there. They ratted it out. Dave, a cop with a badge and a clipboard, showed up. 4 or 5 neighbors told him that I was drugged and told to say it. There's a lady in Save-A-Lot, November 2nd, 3rd, 21, that everything was drugged and photoshopped and made up on me. March 24th, 22, 130, that they framed me, 3 apartment buildings for me, tall white guy with brown hair. Everybody heard it. They sold the login to the Protected case within 30 days. And then they got Eric Hyde, November 18, 22, Walmart 62, told him to come in and confess to all the tapes before were him and not me, and it was done for a stunt for everyone to turn on me. They got that man high and had him confess he had nothing to do with it. They framed that poor man and got him high because they can control you. I talked to a sheriff about those amnesia drugs. He said with those amnesia drugs, they're so bad you're under somebody else's control with no memory. They could have drugged up the people to take down the towers, and they didn't even know they killed everyone. My one co-worker, Dar, got taken from a bar, willingly left with him and didn't know it, and they left her in a puddle of pee. My neighbor Mike got roofied in a bar, drove around high all night, came home, changed his shoes, didn't know how he got home, had to find out that he went to the bank, he went out to eat, and came home and changed his shoes. He doesn't even remember that night. And they all had the same symptoms of being dizzy, heart racing, throwing up, and you're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. It's not funny doing that to a human being. And a sick satanic occult getting even with somebody because they allow open adultery in their churches. Why have the long hair and the skirts? Huh? You're allowing open adultery. Why? It's ridiculous. And then you're going to have that poor wife that has nothing to do with their sins, have that person, have them kick in their door, stalk them, sell them on porn sites because they're cheating. Photoshop a shower scene, let strange men watch me in the shower, Photoshop the shower scene, then break in and I have bruises all over me. The doctor gave me iron pills because they thought I was becoming anemic. I had already lost over 18 pounds before I called the FBI, and I lost another 70 in 4.5 months. I'm lucky to be alive. These people almost killed me. I got a dent in my head. I was raped and tortured. I was almost shot driving. There's a shooting night. I had to hide not to get killed. There's probably more dead. They've already took Release's niece after the case started. My house manager. They already killed my other coworker, Lori's family member. We all have the same story. They took the girl at the ATM in Canton. They took a bunch of people, and because of John not stopping this and falling for their stunt, the drug traders that were human trafficking out of this area have got set up, and we are now 4th in the nation because he did not stop this 5 years ago. And so now they're mocking everybody that ever helped. When are people going to learn to start getting on their phones, on their laptops, their iPads, and get on there and start submitting tips? Since they sold the login, send them the login. Get them down here and start arresting these people for participating. It's nothing but Lighthouse Tabernacle in Massillon, New Life Tabernacle, and Apostolic Church of Barberton. Strange was mean to so many people. So many people left, and they branched out into the other churches. Everybody's related to somebody else or friends with someone else, and that's why they all helped out. People have been taken, they have been human trafficked, and there's been like 3 more this last 2 weeks that have been just showing up on Google in this local, within a couple hours from here. And that's not even the whole state. We are 4th in the nation of human trafficking. My one friend said it was a drug scam from the drug traders, human trafficking, that he knew somebody who dealt drugs. And it's the drug dealers from out of this area, human trafficking people out of here. They're running a big scam. And yeah, today up in Akron, they were up there. People pulled in and turned around, and when I walked out to my car, they really did tell on her before. They really did fall for the tapes before. And now they know they even mocked them. Nobody finds any of this funny. Well, the guy running this made fun of everyone that ever helped out and fell for it. It was the life of the party. Now, would everybody start turning him in? I've been raped. I've been tortured. I have been publicly humiliated. I have been drugged. I've been beat with internal injuries. I've been bashed in the back of the head. I have a dent in the back of my head. I've been almost shot driving. There's a shooting night. People have been killed. People have been taken. And when people actually start realizing that they have been running a big murder scheme in front of them, and they're working for serial killers, and they told David it's just a real life case of how to get away with murder. March 1st to 15 of 19, 8 to 10:30 at night in a legally bugged house. Somebody actually pulls that case. That agent actually opened a real case. Officers in uniform, the Stark County Sheriff's, call it Karen Around the House. Massillon Police, and North Canton, Jackson Police, Hartville. Police in uniform mention it, or they call it Karen's Will. FBI informant, September 27th, 18. It's a house of horror. And like my friend said, I have a friend on the police department 2.5 hours away. And they knew about that case that agent opened with you. And they're going to use it to get these drug traders that are human trafficking people out of this area. And they knew about the Texas group. In your case, I said, oh, the Kingsmen, is that what they called themselves? And then that there was a retired judge in Texas that was involved. They went down to question him. He killed himself. And then there's another judge in another state, and they're getting ready to take care of it. January 20th, 2023, 6 p.m., my phone's tapped. And then February 14th, the sheriffs and the marshals out of this area did an 800 people sweep, and they've got even hundreds more since then. And there's still more, and they're still grabbing Ohioans. And when we realize these people, the only thing they're doing is helping a serial killer that is sitting back laughing. There was a supervisor at the FBI that was on Google, got arrested for stealing 225,000 from another case. There was another agent a couple years ago on Department of Justice stole over 200,000 from a case. How'd they get it? They had to victimize the victim. You know, it takes a special kind of animal, the victim that they swear they're going to protect, to turn them back over the animals that are trying to kill them. To betray victims, it takes a special kind of animal.